Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to Skyfactory 4. This is episode 4, and this is EthanCraft episode 5. In the last episode, we prepared all of our saplings for deep storage and automation. We started our coal farm using vanilla furnaces, and we started our coal power, and we were producing around 380 RFs a tick. We were preparing ourselves for an ME system by getting power, getting all the saplings ready for requirements for the Nether, and now we'll get into this episode. For today's episode, I had planned to complete all stuff required for an ME system that involved the Nether, and so my plans were simple: make armor, make a weapon, go to the Nether, check it out for the first time, and get all the requirements figured out. So now, I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get really into it. So, I found out in this mod pack, there is this new type of armor called, Tinker's Construct Armory. So they made this entire new add-on to Tinker's Construct that allowed you to basically, the same way you would make the tools of using all these different materials for different modifiers and different durabilities and armor values and everything for weapons, where you could use, for example, a bone part in a weapon to gain some bonus damage. You could use Manulium if you wanted the insatiable effect to make it so that you could do more damage the more you hit, but it would also eat more durability and would make your tool not unbreakable. So I started off just simply starting with the normal Tinker's Construct stuff. I got the pattern chest, which then is also a dual purpose. You can use a pattern chest and it can also be the cast chest, so that's a tip for you guys. I made myself the tool forge using silver blocks. I had a lot of silver, and I figured silver is probably going to be one of those resources that I use the least, and it's not going to become relevant for a long time. So then I ended up finding out, after about half an hour of figuring out how to use this armory mod, that there's an armor station. So I crafted an armor station and the armor forge. When you look in the armor forge, you see the different pieces of armor, and it takes all the stencils and all that shit to make it, just like I thought it would, but the only issue was I didn't know where to combine it. So after figuring out how to combine it, I made all the casts for all the armor, and I went through the book looking at all the different options I had. I don't have alloying yet because I never upgraded my smeltery to the real one, so this one can't actually alloy, and so instead of being able to make like electrum and stuff, or cool metals, I ended up using lead. And it was actually really funny when I was thinking about which armor to use, and this one is like heavy and shielding is the bonuses or something, and so it's hard to knock you back. You're knockback resistant, and then the shielding gives you like extra fake armor basically. So I found that this would be a good option for the armor because it had pretty good base values, had pretty good durability, and I really don't need the lead other than for item ducts. Yeah. So I ended up using the lead pieces. It was really nice. So you'll see I craft them all. They look really, these armors look amazing. And I figured, to be honest guys, how could you play this new mod pack with all this new stuff and not go the new mods, right? The whole point is trying shit out. So, hey, we tried out the new armor, and then immediately realizing that I could actually buff up the armor, I ended up buffing up all the armor with a diamond to upgrade the armor value and the durability of each armor piece. So it was really cool. Armor is only so much though, and you need the other portion of your equipment. That's called weapons. So I decided that just like the good old days, I would make myself a shuriken, because I know everyone who watches Minecraft Modded loves shurikens. Out of all the ranged weapons, there's like the short bow, crossbow, long bow, all that shit, right? No. Shurikens. Everyone wants to be a goddamn ninja. So I thought only right to make shurikens. So I was looking at the different options, and I was going to use electrum, but again, I didn't have the alloying to make electrum, and so I decided to use silver. Silver had a really high base damage. It was like 5. The next highest was 6, being magma slime, and I was like, this is actually really insane for such a cheap material, and I wasn't going to use silver for anything else right now, so I ended up using silver for this. Made the head of the shuriken out of stone. This is a tip. If you make the head out of stone, you can then repair with stone. I added a diamond, which gave me 50 extra ammo, and also some more damage. It was really beneficial. When do I add the diamonds to my armor? Because I want to show off the different values. Oh, I show off a yo-yo for the first time, finding out that there is a new weapon in the pack. That's when I realized, oh, I've got to make the yo-yo because it's new. So you guys see it added a ton. Look at that. From 147 to 297, and the defense went up a lot. It's insane. Each one has 15 defense. You put it on, instead of 5.5, it's now 7.5. So it's a lot more armor, a lot better durability, really good, and really tanky. We'll see if this is good enough for the Nether. What do you guys think? Comment in the comment section below if you guys think the lead armor with this silver shuriken is going to be enough for me to do the Nether. Had no idea at the time, and I made myself a diamond pickaxe to finally tear down that stupid Nether portal. Didn't show you because there was no point, and I started working on a yo-yo. So for a yo-yo, you need 2 bodies, and an axle, and a string, just like normal, 2 sides in the middle. Yeah. So crafted all that shit up, got it all together. Found out that the string I made to make this yo-yo wasn't actually going to work, guys. So chucked it out, made a new one. This one with the part builder. Yeah, use the part builder to make it instead of the crafting recipe of 8 string in a circle. The 8 string in a circle is to make the book and not the yo-yo. So I ended up making the yo-yo, adding a diamond to that as well, and finding out that you can leave it hanging in the air for 14 seconds, and I didn't notice, but it's when you have it extended that it's doing the damage. So you can hit from like 6 blocks away, and it's pretty strong. I ended up enjoying it a lot. Yo-yo is pretty ridiculous, and I can imagine if you had more range on it, it'd be even more insane. So I ended up crafting myself 2 cakes with the intent. There are 2 dimensions I have to go to currently. So the first one that I already knew for a long time was the Nether. Finally made the Nether Cake, but there was an alternative cake I needed to make. So I made 2 cakes. The first Nether Cake, it says 6 bites on it, but it doesn't actually consume any bites. I don't really know what's going on there. I'm not going to complain. I'm glad that it's just free teleports to the Nether forever. The second cake, though, that's where things get a little bit interesting. So I ended up using bone meal in my grass area with the cow. I punched it back. No cows were hurt in the making of this video, I swear. I'm sorry, PETA, but I needed red and yellow flowers, poppies and dandelions, because when you want to get the second portal called the Twilight Forest Cake, it requires 4 poppies and 4 dandelions, easy peasy, and then you have the Twilight Forest Cake. I need to go to the Twilight Forest because I need to get this special metal called boron, and it's the only way to progress towards, I believe, an ME system. There's specifically the patterns to make the circuits for the actual processors in an ME system requires weird metals, and that's one of them, boron. I thought it was going to be impossible and that the ME system was delayed a lot. I just need to go to the Twilight Forest, and it should be a natural spawn, natural generated block there, an ore. So that's okay. I'm okay with that. We'll be looking forward to that soon. So I actually had a great idea coming in. Before I go to the Nether, I had prepared myself with these wooden slabs and water, because I read in the quest book that water works in the Nether. So, and that you should ride a boat on the water. I didn't really get that part. That part still confuses me to this day. I don't understand why they said that part in the quest book, but I'm a genius, and I was using the building gadget with the horizontal line setup, and you could do 25 block distance scaffolding, and so I used it to go from my starting obsidian platform to another fortress, and I didn't get shot by any blazes. I didn't realize when I was doing this that I shouldn't have used wood, because if a blaze shot my thing and then burned it, I was screwed. Not really, like I just run away, but it would have been obnoxious, you know, it wouldn't have been fun. But I ended up going to this Nether fortress, and it was actually pretty interesting to finally get to try out the shurikens and the yo-yo for the first time. So the shurikens, I was super unsure of the the way it was actually shooting. Like, it had a lot of fall off. They don't really have a lot of power, so they can't go very far, and so I was having trouble aiming it properly. I was getting used to the trajectory of my shuriken, and that's when I realized that the yo-yo range is really insignificant. When blazes start to fly around and stuff, it's not really going to be very helpful. But I start going around looking for loot in this nether fortress, find myself an automatic torch. Didn't realize I had this until I kept having torches get placed below my feet, and I still hadn't figured it out. I thought somehow that the nether was just auto-placing my torches from my right hand. You see at the 9th slot in my inventory, it was placing the torches. But I realized after that it's when the automatic torch was placing torches below my feet, it was filling itself back up with the torches in my hotbar. So I'm happy to have an automatic torch placer now. I found myself nether wart and soul sand. Soul sand's one of the things I needed for my list of things I'm looking for in the nether. I was also looking for netherrack, quartz, glowstone, technically ardite and cobalt, but I find out later that those are not going to be a thing for a while, basically, until I go and figure out how that mob learning mod works. But you can see I brought myself a tool station with me into the nether because I knew that the 76 ammo shuriken is not going to be enough, and so I can constantly stop whenever I want to recharge this shuriken, and I can just repair it with some simple cobble. It's really easy. Donuts are beautiful. Here's about that time when I finally remembered that water works in the nether. Now, if I had realized that the water worked in the nether to the extent that I realized it later in the episode, it would have saved me a lot of time of getting to a nether fortress. So once I realized water flows and all that, and it's fully working, you can see I'm looking at the book trying to understand, like, why do I need to take a boat in the nether? So I did try the boat in the nether thing. It was really dumb. But basically what I found out later is if you could have just dropped water off the side of the starting platform and made obsidian on the floor and swam up with the water, and it would have been super easy. And you create obsidian on the lava, and you can then travel across the lava infinitely as long as you have your water bucket. You can see I tried to get in a boat, and I almost died. I found out in a single player, like a separate single player, I went to a creative world to try to swim with a boat on water in the nether, and then as soon as you go in the lava, you die. Do not try it at home. So I ended up using my water bucket to make a ton of obsidian. Here I was actually, very sad part, I don't really want to tell you guys, but to be honest, I was looking for a magma slime island because in my quest, or in my progression, I needed the magma slime sapling, and the only way to get it was to get a magma slime block or whatever from the island. And I just assumed, since it's a normal nether, it's not normal, by the way, I realized this after, it's not a normal nether, but I was going to try to find magma slime islands. I found it in a creative world. They do not exist. So after wasting a bunch of time, I looked up the recipe, and it's a lot easier than I thought. So you can turn netherrack into sulfur on a grindstone. It doesn't need a horse. This is just the manual, easy one from horsepower. The upgraded version requires a horse, but figured out you can make sulfur dust. Needed the sulfur dust because I was trying to make pyrotheum. I got the blaze powder, obviously, from either the blazes that I killed, or you can crush netherrack in a crushing tub to get blaze powder for free, along with blood. Don't know why there's blood and blaze powder in your netherrack, but hey, just crush it down, boom boom, easy peasy. So this is all in prep to get the pyrotheum. So you melt down the pyrotheum simply in the smeltery. All it requires is 1,000 heat, which is the heat of lava, exactly lava. I ended up finding out that you could upgrade dirt with light blue dye in a bucket of milk to the blue slime dirt, and the blue slimy dirt was slightly better than the green slimy dirt. It was like 0.4 better or something in both the growth and the output. It was really cool. So I couldn't actually pour from the smeltery into a cauldron. I had to use an extra tank just to output the pyrotheum. It was really weird how that works. I was just assuming that I could pour from the faucet into a cauldron, but no. So we ended up getting it, putting it in this cauldron, combine the pyrotheum with the blue slime sapling, and you get yourself the magma slime sapling. It was that easy. Wow, pyrotheum, really? So we still did need to go to the nether, but I wasted about 20 minutes traveling. I could show you how much of the nether I covered in obsidian with water. And just to also point out, when you add all that ground to the nether, mobs spawn on it even when you torch it, because, you know, nether blazes, zombie pigmen, they don't give a fuck. I ended up making myself the Nether Sapling, so that I don't have to get netherrack myself. When I went to go put these new saplings that I'm getting from the nether stuff that I did, I realized that I didn't want to use dirt because I've upgraded to that new compost. So instead of using, or mulch, sorry, instead of using dirt, I created 2 stacks of brown mulch, because the way the mulch is going to work anyways is you progress through the tiers. You have to start at brown mulch and then you upgrade to the next tier. So I'm going to need them anyways. So I just created a bunch. It was really cheap anyways, cocoa beans and some sticks. It's all free at this point. Like, everything is really free. I then realized that I've had this green slime shoot for a while, and that I could get myself the emerald sapling. This would have been nice actually before the nether, because I found out, well, I cut it out. While I was editing my video, I realized that I went to go use an emerald on my tools, specifically the shurikens and the things I was worried about, the durability or the ammo. If you don't know, when you add an emerald to a tool in Tinker's Construct, it adds 50% durability, and so it would have added about 38 ammo to my shuriken, which would have been super nice. Made myself the magma slime crystal and the green slime crystal. Also, some more hoppers. Bonsai pots, you know, never enough of those. This is where we started getting the extra ingredients we needed for the emerald sapling. I'm super happy to finally have emeralds. Normally, emeralds in a pack are super rare and super hard to get, but since we have these bonsai trees, man, all these resources are actually just infinite. It's insane. And I still haven't had any lag that was mentioned in my comment section from Sebastian about these crates. I wonder if it's when they start getting filled more, or is it when you go super crazy with the crates, like you fully use them for everything, which I'm not going to be doing. This is a temporary fix for storage, because I didn't think ME was going to be that quick, and it's turning out to be a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. I kept thinking, man, it's just the nether. Oh, the nether's actually way harder than I thought. Oh, now it's just, I'm finally at the nether. No, it's still not just the nether. You need boron, you need the twilight forest, you need all this extra stuff. Oh, you need power, you need the resources. Right. So I got myself that emerald sapling, created it, harvested it, tried to harvest a leaf, because I didn't want to wait for it to finally grow, but needed the emerald sapling to get myself the quartz sapling. So combine it with the magma slime crystal, and you get yourself the quartz sapling. So I've nearly got myself all of the saplings for the nether. The other one was a glowstone sapling. This is actually where I realized on my crates on the wall, the mineral stuff I don't have the sapling in the crate. So I ended up having to make a new mineral sapling, because I didn't feel like adding it and waiting for it to harvest. I just wanted to finish up the video. It was going well. So I ended up creating a second mineral sapling, but that's okay. And then we were crafting ourselves the glowstone sapling, so that we would never have to worry about the glowstone either anymore. That one isn't actually required. I just figured I'd knock it out because we were already doing all this other nether stuff, you know? After getting that glowstone sapling, I realized that the last sapling that I really wanted for the progression was an osmium sapling, because I really would like to use mechanism for most of my progression through tech. I want to start with mechanism, so osmium was my first big metal that I'm going to be using for that. I can't start it without it, because you need the metallurgic infuser, and the metallurgic infuser requires osmium. I still need, because I want to make steel, and then half the other mechanism machines require steel casings, so that'll allow me to get the steel. There was a recipe to do steel in the smeltery, but I really just don't feel like using the smeltery. I remember in the past, it's super laggy, it's super terrible, but you can see when I was looking at the osmium sapling that you pour the osmium amber that you melted in the smeltery onto the mineral sapling, which is why I need another mineral sapling. I also found out when you left click the bottom of the crates, it seems that it pulls out a stack, and when you click the top side of the crate, it only pulls out one. Little tip I found out. I kept messing up during the video, but I noticed it in the post-editing after the fact that this is how it works. It was super irritating trying to pull just the right amount. Didn't really feel like going through it. It was really funny when I put in like 8 stacks of iron into my smeltery. I never put the cast of an iron ingot in, so I was just waiting forever for it to pour, and it never happened. So that was fun, but we ended up fixing that right here. I ended up finally adding it back, fixing it, putting the cast down, and getting it to auto pour. It was nice. I needed more iron. I actually had run out of bonsai hoppers, so I needed a ton more iron, so I ended up running like 8 stacks of iron through the smeltery. And then we finally got our hopping bonsai for the osmium sapling. I didn't actually set up these saplings into the big storage. I figured just this minor temporary thing for now would be good enough for this episode. Got a lot of stuff done. Got the entire nether progress completed, and we're now working towards the Twilight Forest to get the boron, and we're in our final steps of getting an ME system and pack breaking. Here's where I realized I wanted to make the cobalt and ardite sapling, so I made myself an obsidian pickaxe. 200 IQ, has cobalt mining level. I could go get the cobalt and the ardite right now, but then I realized, wait, what is that recipe? Glowstone ingots, magma slime sapling, what is that thingy in the middle, and another, like, what are you talking about? For a cobalt and ardite sapling, you're insane. I could just go harvest that myself in the nether for free. So that's not happening for a long time. And the only other sapling is a cookie sapling, so I have all the saplings I want. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. We got a lot of stuff done. We might start streaming these episodes live. Then I will take the post-stream and edit it down for a highlight video on the channel just like this, like normal. But I might start doing both. So if you guys are interested in something like that, then let me know in the comment section below. A lot of people have been expressing their interest for my streams again. They're like, I really like your streams. Can they come back? Hey, maybe. Hope you guys have enjoyed. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, new to the streams, then make sure to hit that subscribe button while you guys are at it. Hit that little bell to receive a little extra piece of notification. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!